Morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, everybody. Welcome. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 425. How you guys doing today?
I'm all right.
Derpy, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't think he was there. I was talking to him for like 10 minutes before the show come on, and
Like,
I never heard anything back.
is Derpy's fire alarm on? That's what everyone wants to know in the comments. Like, I didn't notice it live, but like I saw comments go, "What the hell is that chirping?" All I'm hearing
Is that
chirping.
what today or was that yesterday?
Yesterday, Derpy's they get the entire episode apparently just chirp.
Yeah.
If it happens again, Derpy, I am you are banned.
You know what? That's great, actually.
No, it's not great.
I didn't know that was all going on over there.
I did not pick it up. I didn't even notice it when I was like going back through some stuff. I just tuned it out because I'm used to anything coming from Derpy's side. I just kind of tune out.
You know what's wild, Mike? Like I've been noticing it, and it's you can't not with these headphones on, because as soon as it chirps, like it's in mine, it's like so loud in my right ear.
Uh-huh.
And it's wild.
There it is.
There it was. Did you hear that?
There it is.
Derpy, you're just stay muted until called upon.
Who was commenting on that?
Steeler Freak.
Okay.
Steeler Freak. It
That's
would
funny.
be Steeler Freak.
Yeah, he's on top of his shit, unlike Derpy.
All right.
Yeah, Mike, Derpy. The Raiders won. That means Derpy tied it up, and it comes down to a coin toss today. And so we'll let it sit on your mind for a while. We won't do it right away. We'll do it a little bit later, but
End the show with it.
so that's the thing, Derpy. This is kind of pivotal for you, because if you lose today, Mike goes up 3-0.
Uh-oh.
But if you win, you pull back within one. So this is a big coin toss.
I'm gonna win. I'm going undefeated.
Hey,
I'm not going to say a word.
the Dolphins are watching, Mike.
F them. F the Dolphins. F the 70 Dolphins.
Steelers. Signed fullback Jack Coletto to the practice squad. He's a versatile fullback that they say they signed the practice squad because he's versatile enough to where he could return kicks, I guess.
So what, we can have him, Gunner, and Connor Hayward back there all crashing into each other to have a bigger collision.
And you know what else? The what's her face is back. McFarland's
back. Get him back there too. I want everyone back there all at once. Throw Desmond King back there as well. I just want to.
Yeah, Desmond King.
Yeah, just put everyone back there who can return a kick, and I want them to all collide into each other like the large hadron super collider. And I want to see what kind of stuff we can create back there. That might be the most exciting we have.
Connor Hayward.
Yeah.
I just want bad things to happen on special teams. That's exciting to me.
So we signed him. The changes are flowing in. Anthony McFarland and Deontay Johnson guys are both eligible to come back against the Rams. So
that's positive.
Those are some good signs.
We got that going for us, which is nice.
Brad Wing is cut. They expect Presley Harvin expects to be back for the Rams game as well. So this bye, it's certainly given us a little time to get healthy.
Yeah.
And we could sure use that. And as I said, if you're looking at your team and you're expecting to be a championship team, it's one thing. But on the other hand, we are.
Yeah.
And this team is going to basically, like I said, I can't imagine they'll be any better than they were last year, or or any worse for that matter. It looks like the same exact team, the same exact game plan. Everything that I'm seeing this year, Mike and Derpy, this is the same football team that I've seen last year. We've seen this season before.
We have it. It's like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, it is like
It is literally Groundhog Day, and I'm okay with it because I'm used to it now. Yeah. I've embraced the suck that is this team. And I'm here for it. I'm here for the Matt Canada, Kenny Pickett experience.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be it's not going to be boring. I mean, It'll be boring for the first 3.5 quarters, and then we'll
that's the Steelers now, man.
play like a football team at the end.
Yeah, we're gonna bore you to death all game long, and then out of nowhere in the fourth quarter, we're just gonna dazzle you with brilliance after we baffled you with bullshit for 3.5 quarters.
Oh.
Well, that's like the only time Kenny Pickett can play is at the end of the game where it's a tight situation. He can make a throw. He can make a play.
Like I said, he only comes with a hand throw. He only comes with a handful of throws. Don't you know what I mean?
You have to save him up.
He has a quota.
Like we should start Trubisky, and then in the third quarter, Tom.
But then you'll get first quarter Kenny though. He has to have the time in. Yeah,
he has to suck.
If you put him in the fourth quarter, then you're only going to get first quarter Kenny.
Well, we can have
nobody wants that.
We can have him warm up on the sideline. Be like, I'm gonna come out. Like give me Vaughn.
Yeah.
Kenny will be warming up on the sideline. The Wild Thing will play. He'll come out.
His yellow hair flowing in the wind.
Yeah. They'll do the whole. He'll come out in a cart shaped like a football, so they're shaped like the baseball. They'll get him the bullpen cart. You know what? Anything to help this team win, I'm willing to try.
I seen a funny meme the other day about Chase Claypool. It says, "What if he ends up going to Miami and gets a ring?"
like when Juju. Flying high and borrowed wings.
Because Claypool certainly deserves to have a championship ring. I mean, you know what I mean? You can totally see this happening. I can see this happening.
It's going to happen. And
he'll be up there in Pittsburgh shining, putting his ring in everyone's face and everything.
It would be great. And he will act like he was a huge contributor as well.
They just didn't use me right. They didn't put me in a good enough position to do anything. So
as he'll have 5 catches all year long.
Yeah. I'm going to cut away. from football for just a moment, Mike, because yes, big news. The Pittsburgh Penguins drop the puck tonight, guys.
Heck yeah, boy.
Is it the game?
Blackhawks tonight, 8:00. What's that, Derpy?
Is it the game?
It's the game.
Derpy.
It's a game.
It's a real game, Derpy.
All right.
Was the Blackhawks one of the 2 teams that we couldn't beat last year at the end of the year? Was it Colorado and the Blackhawks?
I think so.
I knew it was either them or Detroit. I can't remember if it was Detroit or Chicago.
I know it's someone we should have beat.
Yeah.
And Chicago, they're starting the prized rookie.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, is he getting a start?
I believe he is. I believe he's on the roster. He made the team. He should have. He's that good of a talent. Yeah.
Like, give me
Connor Bedard.
Connor Bedard. Yep.
Mike, tell me a little bit about your thoughts on this season, the Penguins. I'm cutting over real quick because I have to go grab a coin for the coin toss.
All right.
So tell us a little bit about how you feel that this season's going to play out, what these guys need to do to turn the ship around, and what these additions to this team are going to mean. And I'll be back in just a second.
I'm really looking forward to see what Erik Karlsson can do. He's still playing at a high level, even though, once again, the older player on the team, but he is still contributing, playing at a high level. One thing we're going to have to get used to is he's an experience. There's going to be highs and lows. His plus minus is off the charts. Now I know, plus minus isn't what, it's not the go-to stat anymore. There's a bunch of advanced analytics, but yeah, his plus minus was, if that's what you look at, don't watch him play, because he's going to play very well in the offensive zone. Defensive zone, he is what he is. But, him and Letang are going to be out there for, my God, more or less half the game. Every shift you watch, you're going to see Erik Karlsson or Chris Letang out there. And both those guys are just damn good all around. They're just damn good defensemen. They're going to put up a lot of points. Letang's more defensively sound than Erik Karlsson is. And a lot of Penguin fans are not high on Letang's defensive play, but he still has it. But again, it's all going to come down to the bottom 6 again, because what you're going to get out of Crosby.
How do you feel
what you're going to get out of Malkin?
How do you feel we did go out and get
playoffs.
guys?
We're going to make the playoffs. I like the guys we brought in. We upgraded the bottom 6 big time.
Really? I mean, is it going to be is it going to be a noticeable difference? We're going to,
I think so. I think it's going to be noticeable. You're going to notice more scoring. It's not just going to be, defensive zone play. But what's going to come down to again is Sullivan. People want to talk about Mike Tomlin being stubborn. Sullivan's just as stubborn. If he has one system and you just play that system, you skate faster than everyone else. And if you're not skating faster, guess what? Just skate faster. There's not a real lot of tactical changes with the Penguins, but when you have guys like Crosby still producing at a high level, Malkin last year was producing at a high level, Gensel, it's looking like he's really close to coming back too. So you have a lot of good scoring depth up front on the top two lines, and it's looking like the bottom six has been upgraded to where you can get some much needed scoring depth down there, and you didn't lose anything really off the defensive play of the bottom two pair or the bottom two lines.
Okay.
So, and overall the defense has improved. Again, it's going to come down to goalie too as well.
This is probably the last go around too, though.
Yeah. This is
here's the thing, Mike. You always say that Sidney Crosby still outperforms everybody. You look at him at the end of every year; he's always up there in this, up there in points, scoring, whatever, assists.
It's got to end at some point.
At what point do we stop seeing that guy? When do we stop seeing that player that we've been used to seeing? Because you would have thought at some point by now.
Mm-hmm.
You would have noticed some kind of slowdown, but if you tune in and watch tonight, or if you tune in and watch a month from tonight, you're going to be seeing the same Sidney Crosby that we've been watching play for 17 seasons. He truly is still that good. At what point? And with that being the case, how long do you think it's going to be? I mean, how long do you think Sidney Crosby will now play in his career? I mean, if he still continues to play like this, there's no sign of any end in my eyes as far as Crosby goes.
He's what, 36? I can see him playing to at least 40. The way he's still going, and
like guys, they just slow down. They're just not as good, so they give it up. I mean, the guy's still playing top-notch hockey. I mean,
and still playing responsibly both ends. He's still at his age with the injuries that he's had. He still goes into the high traffic areas. He still plays down low. He crashes the net, plays below the goal line. He has yet to change the way he's played, and he has that style to where he can play as long as he wants, as long as he stays healthy, because his game isn't predicated on speed alone.
Yeah.
And he still has the vision for the passing. He still has the hand-eye coordination to do those, pucks batted out of the mid-air. He still has that killer backhand that no one could touch. He's just, I can see him at least going to 40, maybe beyond.
Do you have any predictions for tonight, Mike? Chicago Penguins opening night, puck drops.
I'm gonna go with the Penguins. I think Crosby's gonna show the kid, hey, you might be the next one. You might be talked about like with McDavid, talked about like with me, but hey, you still got a ways to go. I may be an old man, but hey, I still got it in me. I think Crosby puts on a little show tonight.
You know what? I hope you're right. I hope they get off to a good start. The finish to last season kind of left a bad taste in everybody's mouth.
Oh yeah.
It's like all you have to do is win one of these last two games against the two worst teams.
Do it.
And you're in. They didn't do it, and you know what? Somebody else got in.
Yeah, but I'm hopeful this year. Like I said, they've upgraded all throughout the lineup, and Kyle Dubas seems like he's not going to be a guy to sit around and wait for the team to improve. If they have a rocky first couple months, he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that's going to wait for the trade deadline. He seems how like Jim Rutherford was. Hey, this isn't working out. Guess what? We're going to make some moves throughout the season up until the very last day, up until the trade deadline to tinker this lineup. So I think they're going to do well this year. I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they're finally going to make it out of the first round for the first time since who knows when. Because right now the Steelers and the Penguins are the same team. Let
me ask you this: do they have? Is there potential for this team? We had the big pickups. We had the defensemen, these bottom six guys. We got. Is there a chance that this team could be a championship team this year, or are we just kind of hoping for this team to be a pretty good team and maybe win a round, maybe give an exciting round in the second round? Legitimately, Mike, like realistically, what are the chances of this team being a Stanley Cup champion?
I don't think we're one of the top 4 cup contenders, but I think we can. I think we can make it deep into the playoffs this year.
Surprise a lot of people. Yeah.
And if we get some puck luck and Jari stands on his head, I think then you can see the Penguins making it into the Cup Finals and having a chance to win. But right now, on paper, I don't think we're one of the Cup contenders, but we're like one of the teams that people are talking about making a deep playoff run.
That'd be cool.
It'd be cool, and if things fall into place, it could work into their favor to where they win the Cup. But there's so many good teams now.
Still a long season ahead, though, Derpy.
82 games, Derpy. That's why they play all 82.
Yep.
I'm going to go to the board for a moment. Crosby going for the unofficial Chelios Cup.
Hell yeah, he's going to be playing till he's 90.
Hey, no problem. Big Mike up top there. Yes, was a nice one. That was I don't know. Could you call last week a nice win? That Steeler game we just watched. I don't know what that was. I mean, it was a win.
A win is a win.
And I tell you what, if you liked it, you're gonna see more. I mean, that's the way the Steeler games are gonna go this year. This is the team. This is the team. This is the team. There's nothing that indicates that this team is going to be any different than they were last season, which is insane because, you switched a bunch of things. But you know what? We got the Rams next, guys, in about 12 days. We'll be going out to Los Angeles to play the Rams. Chris Hoke says that maybe Kenny in this bye week, maybe for once just needs to calm down and relax a bit, kind of let his mind settle for a couple of days. I mean, we know that, he worked really hard since since off season started last year. Maybe that's the missing factor. Maybe dude just needs to calm down, take a Paxil or something and
go shotgun some more beers up on stage, Kenny.
Or, people fish, people that fish, that seems to relax them. Maybe go fish or something.
Nah, he needs to go to some more concerts, shotgun some more beers. Because when he was doing that before the preseason, my guy was lights out.
I mean, don't you have a side table you could go to buy with your wife there? Or...
Yeah, just go.
How many times have you seen that commercial, the live-in furniture one?
Yeah, like he just needs to go have a bender, get liquored
just
up.
Me, or does she look like she could be his brother?
Jesus Christ. I don't even know what she looks like.
Kenny's wife, no. Amy.
Yeah,
Amy and Kenny could be brother and sister, just by looks. I think so. That's what I think every time I see that commercial. I think, oh my god, they look like siblings. You see that, Derpy?
Right. Oh,
I'm just gonna drink another beer, Kenny. There you go.
Exactly, Kenny, drink some beer. That's what Hoke's more or less saying is go drink some beers and relax. He needs,
but be smart about it,
Kenny.
Was
Kenny. I want you to channel the first 5 years of the NFL that Ben Roethlisberger did. Okay, I want you out on the town. I want you partying. Okay, go party.
Yeah, normally you don't want the quarterback partying the night before.
No. I want Kenny partying like he's been prime Ben Roethlisberger. Okay, I want 2-time off-season Super Bowl champion Ben Roethlisberger type parties, minus the allegations. Kenny, go have. Yeah,
you remember
fun.
the early Kenny or the early Big Ben parties.
Mix it with the mature family man Big Ben now, but channel some of that party rage. Go out, party, let loose, and then come back in and just dominate the NFL.
Yeah, we'll see.
Just do something when you feel pressure in the pocket, you don't run around like a squirrel on meth.
You know what's wild? Somebody made this comment on social media, and I seen it. I thought, that's such an interesting point. It was Kenny didn't make the big mistake, but Lamar did. And if that isn't a Steeler or Raven game, and the funny thing is, people always say no matter how bad the Steelers are, the Ravens are good, and it's always going to be a good game, and vice versa. It's wild. You could take somebody who's just an MVP to a guy who's really struggling, early in his career. And that's how good these games between the Steelers and the Ravens are, because on paper one team, we should have lost that game. Come on, 14-3,
21 points left on the board.
And then, that's what it comes down to. And I like that. I like that with the Ravens because, again, you don't have Lamar running all over us, which is something that I feared greatly when they first drafted him. I said, this guy, we're going to be trying to catch him for years.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? It just hasn't happened yet, which is mind blowing.
I'm glad we're the team he can't figure out.
Yeah, me too. And
He can
here's the
figure
thing,
out 30 other teams except us.
so it come down to, we got a good defense. Baltimore got a good defense. We got a pretty poor offense. Baltimore has an okay offense. I mean, they've been doing good up to this week. So that's what it come down to. It was, the mistakes that were made and the mistakes that weren't made. And the guy that keeps dropping the ball in this series dropped the ball again. I like it.
Yeah, I like you said, man. Like it's just weird the way Lamar, like, he looked really good in that first half. I'm thinking, oh my god, he had some nice runs.
I just really can't believe
and then,
it was.
and the defense just shut everyone down.
They
in the
didn't get
second
any more
half.
points. Like I said, it was the very beginning of the second quarter, end of the first was when they got that 10th point, that field goal. And that was it. 3 whole quarters of no points.
Yeah, it was a. Oof. If we have one player figured out in the league, it's Lamar. If we can play the Ravens every single week, I think we would have a better record than if we played the rest of the league.
And what about Green Bay last night? They come out and, there's this team Green Bay that we're worried about playing in a few weeks. Here they got beat by the Raiders.
And yeah, and we handled the Raiders. So the league is all kinds of schizophrenic right now.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Like
It's not that weekend.
Ben catching recreational concussions.
And he was too.
My favorite thing about that whole motorcycle accident was the dude tailgating outside the hospital. He had his little portable Pullman. Yeah. He's sitting there frying hamburgers and hot dogs. If that isn't quintessential Pittsburgh, I don't know.
You know what I thought is a good example of quintessential Pittsburgh? Do you say that? Do you remember last year around Christmas when Franco Harris died? And they brought his body to the Acrisure Stadium parking lot for everyone to view him before they took him off to the funeral. If that isn't Pittsburgh, nothing is.
Yeah.
And they're on the radio and TV. They're saying, "Hey, you want to get down here? You want to see Franco? Get down here. He's going to be at he'll be at Heinz Field here.
Put on your best George to find your best Steeler jersey and get out the best terrible towel you had."
And you know what they did?
Franco was the one to announce Kenny.
They showed him up. They showed up in droves, Mike.
Oh, Yinzer fans. I love them.
I love it.
I can't be that guy. I wish I could be that guy, but I can't. I think I'm jealous. Yeah. I think I'm jealous of Yinzer fans.
You are jealous of Yinzer fans.
I am.
You're a jealous person.
I just wish I had that passion again. I love my Steelers, but it's not like that anymore. I don't know what happened to me.
You know what? It was everything before they won that before they won that first Super Bowl 40 for me, because that was the first one I seen. And I thought it was going to be so much greater, and it was what it was. It was great.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I was expecting, because after Super Bowl 40, I lost that edge. My whole life, I needed to see because I was a little kid when they was winning the ones in the end of the 70s. They didn't win anymore until all the way up in 2005, 2006. Yeah. So that was the pinnacle for me. Like I was really, really, really fired up for that game, and it was unbelievable. And then they win, and after that, it was just there was this letdown, a psychological letdown. Yeah, like there should have been more. There should be more to this.
Yeah. Then we won we won those two, and then it's like ever since then it's been like, ugh. Is there we need I want them to win a Super Bowl again, but I don't have that. Oh my God, they need to win one more in my lifetime. I'm like, I saw two. I'm happy now.
I'd like to see a couple more,
me too. But I'm not. How we were all through the 80s and the 90s. Craving that Super Bowl. We're watching the Cowboys and 49ers catch up to our records and surpassing us, and then we had to play catch up. So it's just, I don't have that passion anymore. I've lost.
I don't know. We haven't been close enough to the freaking playoffs to even know. I don't know if I have.
I think that watching those years where either the offense or defense collapsed when we had Ben in his prime is what killed me. Because we would be so close, and everyone says, "Oh, it's because the Patriots in our way." We only played like the Patriots once or twice in the playoffs, so it wasn't the Patriots. It was self-inflicted all those years. So I think I'm just numb to it anymore. Like, I just have a feeling like this team's going to let me down, and I just am now accepting that they're going to let me down.
JJ's finger, apparently, his finger was, or TJ's finger, I'm sorry, was apparently the injury we were worrying about for TJ Watt the other day when he left the field, was spending time off the field quite frequently, actually. Apparently, he did have a finger injury. So we're going to want to keep an eye on that. And we'll find out more, I think, from Coach Tomlin. but that was that injury. It was a finger. So
pull a Ronnie Lott, chop that some bitch off,
absolutely
cauterize it, and get your ass back in
what's
there.
that one guy? The
Pop it back in.
The defensive line or defensive end for the Giants, the long time Pierre.
Yeah,
Pierre Paul. What's
Pierre
his name?
Paul. Yeah.
Just blow it off with a firework.
Exactly, and get
you
right
don't
back.
need a finger to play football.
He had one of his best seasons ever after that.
That's
that
right.
Horrific.
That's
accident.
right.
He had that strong pinky, and he was out there just sacking quarterbacks with the power of the pinky.
That's what I'm saying. There's no excuse. If Pierre Paul and Ronnie Lott did it, there's no excuse.
Yeah, get out there, TJ. Show us what you got.
Yeah.
Hey, if you spend less time punching poor defenseless little midgets out on the field.
Did you see him? Did you see it? You know what? I've seen a couple punches last week, man, that were kind of questionable, actually. But again, that's the Ravens and Steelers. It shouldn't surprise you. Mm-hmm. Did you see, guys? Did you see who was there? Did you see AJ Burnett was down there supporting the team on Sunday?
Oh, he's a goddamn rock star. You thought the Beatles were in town.
Dude, he's a Yinzer now. How many times does he come up on special occasions and make appearances and do this and do that? You know what? There's guys that say they love playing places, and there's guys that you just know. Mm-hmm. AJ Burnett, I think he truly loved being a Pittsburgh Pirate.
Yeah, he was like, this is my kind of town. He's got, and he came at the right time too.
Yeah.
And if he was like 2 years earlier or 2 years after, it would have been But he came when it was hot, and he was the bulldog of that staff. He fit the personality of the city and what that team needed. And people just
as a player, you move around. You've had no hitters. You played for the Yankees. You did this. You played in the World Series. But I
had that everything everywhere all at once, pinky.
But you know what I mean? Like he truly, you could tell he loved it. And this experience was probably, because like I said, other people do these other things. They get a lot of strikeouts, but to be able to come into a city and take over the city like that. And the fans loved him, and he was able to be that guy. I like AJ. I really do. You know what? I don't buy Pirate jerseys, but that was one that I did buy when he was here. I did buy an AJ jersey. One of my favorites, actually.
Yeah, I liked AJ Burnett. I liked him even before he became a Bucket. He was down with the Marlins. Is that where he started out on that pitching staff with like him, Beckett, and another young pitcher? Like they had 3 young guns at the time. I always liked him when we came here, man. He was just perfect. If we would have had,
he was so cool.
Him and Garrett Cole, and if Garrett Cole was pitching
Francisco
the way he did when he left,
Liriano
at the same time, they had a nice staff, man. They had a nice staff.
I love that. I love that team, man.
But yeah, he was living it up in the stands, man. He's like, fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, he's a ham.
He's he is the king of he's
the king of the Yinzers. He's like a real pirate Yinzer, too. Like in real life, he seems like he'd be a pirate. If anybody would be a pirate, it would be AJ Burnett.
He's like that athlete that you would love to hang out with, because he doesn't seem like he's too full of himself. Like he just hang out and be like one of the guys.
Yeah.
Who just happens to be really good at baseball.
Right. Any guys, any truth to this? A rumor yesterday was Byron Leftwich approached the Steelers about becoming the offensive advisor to Matt Canada. I hear this news, and then I hear that there has been a rejection. Again, the only thing that I'm catching is rumors. I haven't officially seen anything. Somebody sent me something saying that he did approach, he wants the job. And somebody else I did see on social media said that he approached, wanted the job, and they turned him down. I don't see this anywhere. Can anybody give me any kind of news or information on this that could help me?
I was actually listening to the interview.
Okay.
When it was going on, Mark Foley was like, oh yeah, there's someone who reached out to the Steelers, about the offensive coordinator job. And the other hosts were like, well, who was it? Blah blah blah. I was like, well, it's someone, blah blah blah. And they were like, okay. They went through names, and finally one was like Byron Leftwich. She was like, oh, okay, yeah. And Leftwich, he reached out, hey, is there an opening in the offensive coordinator spot? It was during the bye week, and what was reported, Kabuli said, the
Steelers, is there opening in the offensive?
Yeah, and they just flat out ignored him.
I love Byron.
And Byron too. He was fired from Tampa Bay because he couldn't call an offense for Tom Brady. He had one of the worst offenses. So, he was just trying to see, hey, you want to get rid of Matt Canada. Hey, maybe you forget how bad I was in Tampa and you remember how good of a backup I was for you and I can get the job.
But there was no response to it,
There was
or
no response. From what
okay.
was reported on air, it was the Steelers just ignored him.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then
That's
it
why,
became
because he's no good, or
then it became speculation on them. Oh, well, why not bring him in to be an outside, consultant observer? Because that's
you
going to
need to have
happen
a whole
mid-season.
team of offensive coordinators, like a
Yeah.
bunch of guys who sit around and,
Yeah.
tell each other, like when the other person's not coming up with good ideas or something. Do whatever
That's
you got to do,
it's
because what
going
we're
to
doing
confuse
ain't
them all
working.
even more.
What's that?
It would confuse all of our
Yeah,
offensive
we'll get
staff
five
even
guys that
more.
don't know what they're talking about.
Exactly. We have we have four guys who don't know what they're talking about. Let's add a fifth. That's what we need. That's what you need with a second year quarterback.
Yeah.
But it was like, he reached out to see if there's offensive coordinator was open and they didn't even return his calls. It's like me, calling up the White House. Hey man, you need a chief of
I
staff?
think obviously with the connection and being a long time, a player here and being a friend with a lot of the people in the organization, I see no problem with that. Call them, say, hey guys, you take a shot. There's no harm in taking the shot, right?
Hey, you miss every single shot you don't take.
That's right.
And you miss the shots that you do take, apparently for Byron Leftwich.
Hey.
Hey, I like you said, Doug. Hey, why not?
No, yeah.
Shit, man.
As I said, the worst, I mean, one of the things that could happen was, as I said, maybe kind of add him to a committee of offensive people that I don't know. I just don't, I don't know. I don't know the answer to this offensive coordinator thing right now. I don't. Byron. I'd like to see Byron back, but again, who knows?
Oof. I wouldn't.
Joey Porter Jr. ranked NFL's #1 coverage corner of the weekend, guys. #1 coverage corner of the weekend.
For like 7 snaps that he played. But
That's
hey,
all right.
none bigger than that interception, man.
On the Steelers, he was #1 overall, and he's #1 in the NFL. But for the Steelers, he was #1. Patrick Peterson was in second amongst our coverage corners at 87. He was the 87th best this weekend. Levi Wallace was 93rd. And Shannon Sullivan was 94th. So those are our coverage. But you know what? It didn't kill us though, right? I mean,
win is a win.
Bad hands by the Ravens saved us and made those guys get lucky. But hey, like Derby said, a win is a win, and Porter, he's making the case where he needs to start right now.
Oh, come on, the guy ain't
leave him in there.
Well, that's what they did. They adjusted a little bit so he would be more on the field, more for different plays. They only had him in a dime, I think, and then they added him into some other sets, so he did get a little bit more playing time.
They moved him outside, and we saw.
It's crazy that he's not getting the playing time at this point in the season. It isn't like we're in a position that if you bring the rookie corner in and he makes a mistake, there goes a game, and that game is that big in the season, and we're shooting for playoff pole position at this point. Week 4, week 5, week 6. Get this guy in there. There's no reason you shouldn't. He has I'm not an interception. He had an interception in the preseason, which, of course, that's nothing. But still, the guy, there's no reason that Joey Porter Jr. shouldn't be on the field more. Okay, say you want to start the veteran and put Patrick Peterson in there. He is an old guy. If you're going to start him, you got to eventually get him the hell out of there and get put the kid in. Why is the kid playing? It's just another one of these questionable things by this team right now that's going on within this team. I think it would be an improvement if you're playing the kid more than you're playing him right now. Certainly.
It is. It's that Steeler mentality rearing its ugly head again. Well, this is the way we've always done it. Rookies, have to wait until they can finally get a spot in. Like, he's playing better than all of our other corners. If he gets burnt, I don't care. Let him get out there and learn. Like we said yesterday, you learn from your mistakes. And what they said all through training camp is this kid, like when he would mess up, he would ask, okay, what did I do wrong? he would take coaching very seriously and go out there and correct it to where he wouldn't make the same mistakes over and over.
And
So
you hate to
put
give the
him out there,
job
let him learn.
to the coach's kid or somebody the coaches know, like someone you might put this in a situation. Well, his dad plays, or you don't want to favor him. And I think maybe just maybe might be laying in the back of people's minds somewhere, saying you can't just start the guy just because he's Joey Porter's son. You know what? That's not even the case. Now, again, the guy has an interception in the small amount of snaps that he's been having. He's done well. He hasn't got burned. He's not getting killed. The guy's 6'2" for crying out loud. You got to let this kid play. He just come out of college. You got to let him play, and he will be the future.
Yeah,
I just can't. I don't see the harm of having Joey Porter Jr. in there more often.
We're not going to the Super Bowl this year. We'll be lucky to make the playoffs. Yeah, we're 3-2, but let's be realistic. How much longer are we going to be in first place? So let the younger guys play. Let him play.
And as I mentioned, Porter
Jones
Jr. number 1 in the NFL this weekend in coverage corners. Patrick Peterson 87, Levi Wallace 93, Shannon Sullivan 94. Tell me again why he's not getting the playing time.
Yeah, like some of those ratings, you kind of roll your eyes at them, but come on, now we've seen the way all these corners have played, and PC Jr. is playing the best out of all of them, even though, yes, limited snaps, but still he's playing the best. And I'd rather have him out there.
He's getting more production in that little bit of time than some of these guys are getting throughout the course of the game. Yeah. And again, the older Patrick Peterson gets, which is every day he's alive now, he's going to get a little bit further away from that prime, the player that he was in his prime.
Yeah.
And again, this is why Minnesota didn't keep him around, because, he wasn't available enough because he couldn't keep up with the younger guys. I like having him on the team. I like having the veteran leadership. I like having what he knows, but still, you got to get little Peasy in there. You got to.
Peterson's not a man cover corner anymore. He's his own corner, and we don't play a lot of zone. We play a lot of man coverage, and we're seeing he's getting beat. And if you want to use him as one of the slot corners. Have him play the shallow zone. Play those little crossing routes. Have him play that area. Don't let him cover anyone one-on-one unless it's dire fucking straits at that point. I'm
gonna go to the board for a minute, Mike. Steeler Freak says Byron Leftwich, isn't it? I agree with you. They need an OC with a 50-pound brain like Mike McDaniel. He's the man, a rain man in the NFL. I mean, that's awesome. We would love that. But
find one of those guys.
Who is that guy? Is that guy out there? Does he exist? Is he available? Is there anybody that we even have our eyes on in that sense?
Like I said, take a look at the guy from the Texans. He had some really good passing concepts that he was using to help CJ Stroud. I'd take a look at anyone on that Miami's Dolphins offensive staff, what they're doing. I'd take a look at the San Francisco offensive staff, what they're doing out there. Any of these teams that are putting up really good passing numbers, I'd take a look at. And you know what? Maybe it's time to move on from Tomlin and dangle a head coaching job to Eric Bieniemy and let him, run the team and be the offensive coordinator at the same time.
P on the board says Byron ain't Norv Turner, no free jobs for him. So I guess that's
Norv Turner, man, he got a job everywhere.
That's the common consensus then for Byron then. No
I just no.
And being from Pittsburgh, people think they'd love to have him back, and they would have Charlie back if they could. And
we'd have as long as you're local from the area or had a cup of coffee here and we're a fan favorite, Yinzers want you around all the time.
Yeah.
That's just sports fans in general. We love what we know.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Unless you're Gunnar Osetsky, then we hate you.
And Connor Hayward on that one play.
Oh my God. That was the greatest thing.
Everything that I ever see Gunnar Osetsky in is a disaster.
Like you said, man, he left New England and they took all of his smarts and athletic ability away.
Remember when he caught the kickoff and he tiptoed on the sideline?
Oh, he was like AB in his prime. He was pumped about that catch. All he had to do was step out of bounds, and it's a fucking penalty.
He tiptoed the line, Mike.
He tiptoed the line.
Like he was doing something amazing.
It was great. Maybe he has a long-term concussion that we don't know about.
It's going
on ever since he left New England.
I see this guy, huh?
He's a fucking moron. But you know what? It makes me laugh, so I'm okay with it. As long as we
PFF,
win.
Mike, the PFF highest Steeler
there we go.
scores.
My favorite, baby.
PFF, Mike, this is your favorite. The
yeah.
Steeler highest grades of the week. I got the top 5 guys. Number 1, Joey Porter Jr., 91.3 he graded this week by the PFF. Mike, Joey Porter Jr. Number 2, George Pickens. George Pickens graded second highest on the Steelers this week with a 90.1.
He balled out.
Alex Highsmith, number 3, 86.1.
He made the play that mattered.
TJ Watt, number 4, with an 84. And finally, a Landon Roberts, 83.6. I would agree. You know what's so weird about these grades? It always seems like the guy that isn't really doing amazing things grades higher than the guy that is. And I've noticed that, you know, kind of following TJ Watt and following this edge rusher, pass rusher position all season long. And, you know, how many times, Mike, have you seen the guy that got more sacks grade lower on this chart?
Well, you know, a pressure that leads to an incomplete is apparently more impactful on the game than a sack.
Right.
That's why, you know, Landon Roberts, he made some key tackles. Some like he had that tackle what played before Porter had the interception that probably saved the touchdown. So that was a key play right there. But, you know, I felt Watt disrupted the game more than Roberts. But hey, you know what? Whatever. This is why PFF to me is a joke. It used to be a decent tool to figure out, okay, how'd someone do in coverage? How'd someone do here? Now it's just like, oh, we like this guy more than this guy. This guy has a better name than this guy. So we'll just we'll skew the ratings towards them because these people are supposed to watch the game and break it down and get the ratings, but how do they know whose assignment is who on any given play? And especially when they're doing ratings right after the game. You're not sitting down breaking down film. You're just doing wild guesses, watching the game as it goes on and throwing grades out there. It's
fun.
It's fun to argue with.
And I did
used to,
like, you know, I used to put a little bit of weight into it, but you know what? Now there's just been so many things that I've read and seen from the PFF grades lately that I'm just like, this isn't even worth talking about. I mean,
Watt's 3 sack games less than Myles Garrett, 0 sack.
I mean, it was like 3 sacks, you know, a fumble recovery, a fumble forced, you know, and he grades lower than Myles Garrett, who got a tackle and an assisted tackle that day because he was quicker to the quarterback. Didn't make a play.
But didn't make a play at all.
It's insane, man. Come on.
Yeah. It's a joke. It's a farce. But you know what? It does provide good banter for the league.
On the board, Steelers freak. Word on the street is that fresh new coaches don't want to come to Pittsburgh because of low pay and Mike Tomlin micromanagement. It is a career ender. You know what? I could agree. Who would you rather coach for? Let me ask you this, guys. If you were like, you know, a coach in any sport, let's say baseball, football, basketball, whatever, hockey, would you want to go to the team that has the reputation, the team that does something the winning way, and you know it's their way or the highway, which is a good thing. But for example, the New York Yankees, the Pittsburgh Steelers, these teams that, you know, you only had 3 coaches in 50 years, so you know it's their way or the highway, and who knows how much that you know that they're calling the shots, that, you know, in the office or general managers or whatever. Or would you rather go to a team that isn't that good or doesn't have a great reputation and bring in your own will, bring in your own ideas, bring in your own, you know, your own creativity, but you're not going to win as much? What kind of team would you rather be a coach for? Because it almost seems like the successful teams would kind of suck the fun right out of it.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, being successful is not a bad thing.
Yeah, well, and you look at it too, like all the coaches that came out of New England, you know, they had that dynasty for 20 years. None of them were good head coaches.
Yeah.
They were great in their roles.
Tom Brady, that's all that mattered.
Yeah, but they were like Romeo Cornell and the other big
Charlie
Wise. Yeah, they were good as coordinators, but as head coaches, they sucked. Mike McDaniel was a good offensive coordinator, terrible head coach for the Raiders and for the Broncos, but they were good at their job. But I would go to the team that was going to let me do what I could do, because it's going to showcase my ability to the league to where I can get.
What if you go out and showcase your ability and you're terrible? And you think, man, I should at least with the team that has a good.
Well, you win some, you lose some. Hey, you gotta bet on yourself. And like two, about the cheapness that was even brought up in that segment when Kaboli was talking about Byron Leftwich. She's like, someone's like, oh well, Art Rooney has enough money to where he can pay two offensive coordinators, one to sit at home after they fire Canada. But Kaboli was like, the Steelers, they say this is what we value an offensive coordinator at. That's what we're going to pay. This is what we value an offensive line coach. This is what we're going to pay. And that's part of the problem too, because you're not going to get these high end coaches because you're only paying you're only willing to pay what the Steelers like. This is what we're going to pay you. That's it. Take it or leave it. And like I said, who's cheaper, Art Rooney or Bob Nutting?
Yeah.
Because you have to, if you want these good coaches, you got to spend money for them. Like you want good players, you have to spend good money for them.
No, you're right.
You're not going to get like a Dick LeBeau who's going to stay here at a work cheaper than he could out of loyalty for the organization anymore. That's not how it works anymore. You got to.
Like I said, I think Charlie Batch, a guy like that, would be. I think Charlie would be there 8 days a week if he worked on for the Steelers in any capacity, because I'm pretty sure the last 4 years he was here, he wasn't even on payroll anymore.
He was just hanging out.
He was just hanging out. He was like being a guy.
He's like, you know what? I'm going to wear my uniform, hang out, and talk to Ben.
Yeah, he had the clipboard. Made him look like he's relevant. But yeah,
bring over the clipboard and the tablet. And
everyone loved him, Ben. So it was all good. It was like, all right,
Charlie was living his best life here in Pittsburgh.
All right, Mike. So here's the deal. The picks went down like this week, guys. This is huge. This is huge, Derpy. You have no idea how big this is. This is gonna make or break your season. I have to guess, because this week, guys, Mike, you were up by 1 going into the last night's game against the Green Bay Raiders game. And Derpy, you needed the Raiders to win. If the Raiders won, it then came down to a coin toss because it's both overshot on the on your over-under picks, your tiebreakers. So it went that way, Derpy. The Raiders beat Green Bay. So here it comes. It comes down to the coin toss. If you get this, you are back in it on the season so far. That'll make it 2-1. And if you win this coin toss, you'll be 3-0. Derpy, you're gonna have a lot of fighting to do to even try to get back in this. But you know what? You were dominant early. You were dominant in preseason. You did well, at other things. So I have confidence in you. But this is really big. Are you ready for this, Derpy?
Yeah.
All right.
Derpy.
Mike, how about you?
I'm ready. Let's do this. Who's calling it?
So here's how it's going to go. Mike, you won last week, so you were going to choose who you want to call it. You could either call it yourself, or you could choose to have Derpy call it. I'll then flip the quarter, and however it lands, Mike, is the official call. So who do you want to call it?
I'm going to call it.
All right. What are you going to call before I flip it?
Tails. Tails never fails.
Here we go. Ready?
Yep.
It's tails.
Boom. Told you.
Rip.
So there you go, Mike. You were up 3-0.
You know what? I told you I am going undefeated this year.
You might. Hey, you know what?
You might now.
A possibility. You have a chance.
Still a chance.
But Thursday we'll get back at it. We'll climb back in and get our picks for this week, because we do have game on Thursday. We have the early game in Europe again on Sunday morning. I believe that's a Ravens game. So, just for interest in the division, you might want to get up a little bit early on Sunday to check that out.
Yeah.
So there you go, Derpy.
You just making me more depressed now, huh?
Yeah, basically.
Charlie Batch was following the Costanza method.
He was too.
I like it. That is just keep showing up.
I love George. Yeah. So there you go, Derpy. The thing was, it got stretched out because he needed that team to win last night. That team beat Green Bay, so I thought for sure something was lining up in the stars for him. But Mike, there you go.
Nope.
Derpy, this is not your year. It is my year. I am going undefeated in these picks.
The win goes to Mike.
And if I lose, I'm going to shave your head.
There you go.
I'm still hoping for the TJ Watt tattoo.
We are too, Derpy. Don't get me wrong. We're
gonna get a
still
TJ
for that,
Watt
but,
tattoo. It's gonna go right here in your face.
like a Mike Tyson tattoo, but it'll be
Yeah.
a picture.
A
TJ.
picture of TJ Watt, or maybe once we shave his head, we'll put it on his forehead.
Buccos, Mike, they had a total attendance this season of 1,630,624, which breaks down to an average of 20,131 fans a game.
Way too many. I could understand early in the season when they were winning, but after that,
but that's how it was, though. I mean, you've seen the crowd, the stands later. It didn't look that full,
No. It's Pirate baseball. Why? The only reason you're going is to just hang out, look at the skyline.
It's something to do in Pittsburgh. You know what I mean?
Skyline is the best part of that park, though.
Because we don't have it. We don't
but
have
even that's played out.
I mean, you go to these other cities, they have fun, amazing things to do. We don't have fun, amazing things. So that's one of the things you do here. The zoo.
People go to
the zoo is pretty cool.
You go to the zoo, then you go to the game, and you watch the pierogi race. And after the pierogi race, you leave. It's the only reason I go.
Check this out. I got
That's
another.
a good reason, Mike.
Sauerkraut Sal, baby.
You know Kyle Sharber, the baseball player?
Yeah.
You want to hear an interesting statistic about him that I found this morning while I was pulling up this Pirates number?
Yeah.
Check this out, guys. Phillies Kyle Sharber is the only player in MLB history. The only player. Nobody else. There's going to be millions of these guys that's played baseball over the history, right? The only player in Major League history to hit under 200, but still had 100 RBIs. How do you even do that?
That's a lot. That's
no,
a lot of
Philly.
That is a
Philly?
lot of men on base by the time you get up. You gotta have at least 2 to 3 bases loaded, 2 guys on.
He hit under 200, but
RBIs are important in baseball.
Hey, man.
Had 100 RBIs. That's crazy. Again, it's so bizarre. Nobody's ever done it. Never.
That's nuts. Couple sack flies here and there to get the guy in. It's doable, but my God, like you said,
it's an amazing feat. Who else can do it? Nobody.
Exactly. You'd be like, hey, I may have sucked, but brought in the runs.
I could certainly bat below 200, but that 100 RBIs thing, come on.
Yeah, that's impressive. That is very impressive. Where did they finish in the standings?
Yeah, they made it.
Oh yeah, shit, 90.
They made it by beating us, man. They beat us. The Marlins beat us. They both went on. Mike, why don't you tell everybody about the website, man?
The 2dumyinzers.com, the number 2 DUMYINZERS.com. All of our links are there. Everything you need is there. 2dumyinzers.com, the 2dumyinzers.com.
Steeler Freak says Kenny P's numbers.
Hey, it shocked
ain't that the truth? I mean,
it shocked me in the game that he finally has a positive touchdown to interception ratio.
Yeah, I think 5
I was like, he was what?
7
I think he's
and 9
+2 now. He's
year,
+2 now. Yeah, he turned it around. Who would have thought? Not me. But I was proud. I was proud of my little Kenny.
He's not the worst. He's not the best.
Not the best. Not the worst.
If he tries really hard, he could be a Cordell Stewart, I think. But Cordell Stewart had to try really hard to be a Cordell Stewart. So, well, you know what I'm saying? A good average player. It wasn't like Cordell was great. It wasn't like he was terrible. But you know what?
Kenny's Pickett's ceiling is average.
I don't know.
And he's going to baffle you with, he'll dazzle you and then frustrate you all in the same game.
Yeah.
He's never going to have like a consistent game, consistent season where it's just.
That's what I'm saying. I just want to see a little consistency from him. That's all. I just want to know that it's a possibility.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to do it all the time. Just do it once or twice so we can see that you're.
Yeah. Just like I'll settle for it.
We're not rock bottom here.
One consistent game from start to finish. Every game this year he's been rocky.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: it's the bye week coming up. We shouldn't worry about that.
They can't lose now, right?
Oh, Derpy, now's the time to worry.
Yeah, if they lose this week, we're in big trouble.
Yeah. Going up against the bye, we might be 500 coming out of the bye, Derpy. With this team, you never know.
But yes, check it out, everybody. A lot of cool things over there. www.the2dumyinzers.com. www.the2dumyinzers.com. A lot of cool things, Mike. You did a great job. I was over there again, doing a little work the other day, and looks good, man.
It's purty.
Mike, anything before we get ready to take off, brother?
I got nothing, man. Other than, hey, it may be the bye week, but now is the time to drink a beer for Kenny.
There you go.
No,
So,
that's all
so
I
you're
got.
saying Kenny just needs to have a couple beers, Mike?
Kenny needs to have more than a couple. He needs to let
He needs to get
loose.
shit faced with
Shit
his
face.
sister.
He needs to channel. He needs to channel his senior year at Pitt. That's
He
the Kenny
does.
Pickett we need. He needs to go back to shotgun.
He
and
channels it
more often.
twice a game, and it's usually at the end of the game when it's
Yeah.
on the line. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't
He
get
needs
it.
to pretend he's at a Kenny Chesney concert all the time. Go out there on stage, He needs to shotgun a beer before opening kickoff.
Yeah, he is. He's the prom date quarterback with the hair and the.
He needs to do something. Otherwise, he's already on my shit list. He needs to get out off it. He needs to get drunk, come back and
the thing is, like I said, I mean, if he is comparable to other quarterbacks, and I'm not even going to get into this whole thing. I'm not going to even give any examples, but just in general, he doesn't have a bad record. He doesn't have bad numbers. He's a very average quarterback. I think if he just calms down, he needs to calm down. He needs to use that pocket because listen.
Yes.
This is what the pocket's for. Watch the game. You see, you're going to get hit every game. That's going to happen. It doesn't matter if you're squirrely or not. You're going to get hit. You're a quarterback. It's the NFL. Yep. Stay in the pocket, move up in the pocket, and you're going to get opportunities to throw the ball downfield to get a receiver that you want. He has to calm down, Mike. Again, that could take him up so much as far as his performance goes. And as I said, I mean, his numbers are average. They're a little better than average. So, I mean, for where he is comparable to other quarterbacks, but it's the product that you see, I think, that keeps people a little bit nervous with Kenny. I want to see consistency. I want to see Kenny stick around in the pocket. I want to see Kenny, again, put together two or more series a game together to where you're confident. You're like, oh shit, we just scored 17 points in three drives. So these are the things that you're going to want to see. These are the things that, again, I just, at this point, I thought we were going to start seeing it. The part of the fact that we're not really seeing that part of it come together, the actual physical product on the field, that's the part that's concerning me. I don't think I'm not too terrified by his numbers, but again, it's what I see when I sit down on Sundays to watch him play. But what about you, Derpy? Anything before we get ready to take off, man?
Let's go Pens.
That's right. Shit, I forgot. After we talked about it, I forgot. Opening night. Let's go sit in the boys.
Give me a prediction on the score, Mike. Penguins, Blackhawks. It's almost impossible for hockey, but what's it going to
be? 3-2.
3-2.
I feel that too.
I was thinking. Derby, what's your pick?
That was actually my pick. 3-2.
How weird, because I was thinking that too.
I think that's like the most common score everyone gives for a hocky prediction.
It's gonna be like 7-1 or some shit,
right? 7-1 Chicago.
Yeah.
just to keep Pittsburgh in check. Yeah,
we do want
to. No one wants to see the Pittsburgh fans happy this year in any sport. Apparently.
I guess. I do want to thank everybody though for checking us out. We appreciate each and every one of you. Every one of you. We really do. We couldn't do without you. Thank you so much. Everybody on the board, Steeler Freak P, Big Mike, if there's anybody I missed, I apologize, but thank you. Everybody on the board. Love having you on as always. So anything else, guys? If that's everything, we're gonna go ahead and bounce.
I got nothing. Let's go Pens.
Derpy.
Let's go Pens. Don't worry about Sunday. Let's go.
All right. Wait, what's Sunday?
So don't worry about this week.
Yeah, that's it, man. Just enjoy some hockey. Maybe that's all we need. That's all we need here in Pittsburgh is a little bit of hockey.
Yeah, just watch hockey.
Calm us down. Let the Steelers take the week off, and we'll regroup. We'll be able to regroup. Well, there you go, everybody. So if that's it, Mike, Derpy, good.
Good.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for checking us out. For Derpy,